different local exploit with the help of Metasploit framework. These are the topics that will be covered in this video log. We'll discuss about Metasploit framework, then what is reverse TCP, followed by what is Meterpreter. Then we'll move how Metasploit attack occurs. And then I'll be demonstrating two things. One is exploiting Windows 10 using MSF Venom, where I'll be covering a little bit the concept of dynamic DNS as well. And demonstration 2 will show how to exploit Android phone. And for here, we'll use EasySploit to create payloads. And then we'll be exploiting the vulnerabilities using Metasploit framework. Then we'll end up this video log by discussing on some of the prevention measures that can be taken to avoid these Metasploit attacks. So let's get started with our first topic, Metasploit framework. What is Metasploit framework? Metasploit is an open source framework, which is a very powerful tool that can be used by cyber criminals as well as ethical hackers to probe systematic vulnerabilities on network and servers. This framework has lots of features, like it's easily customizable and can work with most of the operating systems. Hence, there is a need for security professionals to become familiar with this framework, even if they are not using it. Now, you must be wondering, what is this framework and what all modules are present in this framework? So here are a few of the modules that I have put that are present in Metasploit framework. We can see the payloads, auxiliary functions, encoders, and lot many are present. We'll be using few of them in our demonstration today, and we'll see. So reverse TCP, if we say in generic sense, it's like making a reverse connection from target back to an attacker. Just think, if I want to connect to someone's machine, how will I do? I'll send a connection request, right? Now imagine I'm a hacker or an attacker. Will anyone allow me to connect? I don't think so. But we can do something about it. Why not let our victim beg to us that please connect with me and exploit me? It's funny, right? Okay, once you see my demo, it won't look funny anymore. So a reverse TCP is also known as a connect back. It is real, and I will show you how victim will say, I am available, please exploit me. Now, this is the diagram which is showing the high level picture that once we have sent our payload and we have opened our port, let's say 4444 in this case, then a reverse TCP connection will be made. That is, victim will make a connection with me on this particular port, and then I can exploit that. Now let's see what is Meterpreter. Meterpreter basically make use of that reverse TCP shell, and will use the concept of reverse TCP that I just explained. It is an attack payload that provides an interactive shell from which an attacker can explore the target machine and execute the code. You can see the black screen here. This black screen shows the MSF console. Once we logged into our Meterpreter framework, that is MSF console, we can have some commands executed, and then we'll be entering into the Meterpreter, which is a shell line and will help me in communicating with the victim system. So before starting with our demonstration, I would like to tell something about our demo. So there are three things. What is our plan? How will we execute our plan? And what is the expected outcome? Our plan is to exploit the user's system, that is Windows 10 and Android device, through Metasploit. How will we execute our plan? We'll create a payload using some application like EasySploit or MSF Venom, then transfer that payload to user system or a device, and then create a reverse TCP connection to control that device. What is the expected outcome? In this, as an outcome, we'll be able to successfully create a payload. Then we'll be able to successfully create a reverse TCP connection with victim machine or his Android device. And at the end, we'll be extracting the information from that machine. So let's get started with our demo. So demo 1 is about exploiting Windows 10. So here I'll be using victim system, Windows 10, which is in my virtual machine. The attacker system will be Kali Linux, which is hosted on AWS EC2 instance. The tools that will be used is MSF console and Metasploit framework. MSF console will be used to create a payload, and Metasploit framework will be used to take advantage or exploit that vulnerability, which we'll be injecting. There is another concept of dynamic DNS that comes into picture. To explain that, I'll go to my AWS console, and then I can show my demo. So this is my AWS console, and here we can see the instance running. So I can, if you can see, there is this IP address, which is a public IP address, which is assigned to me by AWS 18.216.42.114. So now if I reboot my instance, or if I stop this instance and start it later, my IP will be probably changed, right? So to overcome this, or to avoid this problem, I'm using duck DNS. Okay. In this, what we are making the use of concept dynamic DNSing. So here I have written some cron job where my IP will be updated on duck DNS site, and they have provided me a subdomain. Okay, so in that subdomain, my IP mapping will be updated as soon as my IP get changed. So for me, if I take a look as a user, for me, I will always have to remember my host name, and I just connect to that host name internally using the help of duck DNS. It will resolve that into IP and make the connections. Okay, so now let me go to my log into my Kali machine, which is in AWS. So I'll be doing SSH. Okay, so I am doing SSH into my Kali machine, and if you can see, I have not provided any IP here. I have provided my sub host name that is provided to me by duck DNS. So here I can log in. This is my Windows 10 machine, which will be acting as my victim today. And let's see how we create a payload and exploit it. So to create a payload, I'll be making use of MSF Venom. So for this, I am using the command MSF Venom. I'll be giving -p, which is the type of payload I want to create. I want to create a payload for Windows 64-bit, that for Meterpreter to have a reverse TCP connection. -f says the type of file, that is exe. Lhost will be the host name where I want to listen to the port, that is my current host, the listener host. The L port is the port where I'll be listening, that is 4444. I can give any port based on my feasibility. As of now, I've opened the port 4444 to listen. Then I'm giving this file name as important.exe. So it will create this file. As soon as I press enter, it will take some time and generate an executable file for me. That executable file is actually a payload. See, it says saved as important.exe. If I do ls-ltr, I can see important.exe is created. Now let me zip this file. Let's say I am zipping it as in imp.zip, and okay, I already have imp.zip present. Okay, anyways, it is updating it, no worries. ls-ltr, and yes, I can see it just now, it got updated, imp.zip. So now let me do one thing. Let me log out of this session and transfer this file using SCP to my attacker, to my victim system. So let me log out. I'll be using SCP command, and yes, so I am, as soon as I press enter, it will download that file for me. Yes, so I can see the particular file downloaded, imp.zip. So I'll replace it with the file which is already present in my shared folder. Replace, yeah. Meanwhile, I'll log into my Kali machine, which is in AWS, because this will be used for attacking. Let me log into my shared path and extract this file. Okay. Okay, I have bring that file into my desktop. Now, my payload is there. Once the user will execute that payload, I can create the reverse TCP connection with him. So now let me log into MSF console, that is Metasploit framework, quickly. I see it has logged in to Metasploit framework. Now there are a few things which I need to do to exploit the machine. The first thing is I need to set up, tell which exploit I need to use. See, I need to create a reverse TCP connection. So I'll be using multi-handler. Although I've created the payload using some external application, right? And I want to create the reverse TCP at the end, which is my ultimate aim, as I explained, right? So we'll be using the multi-handler first. So let's say if I write use multi-handler, okay. So it will keep on showing me the commands that are executed and what it is actually using. Then I need to set my payload. So here we need to set the payload as 64-bit user Windows for Meterpreter for reverse TCP. Okay, I've set up the payload here. Now let me see the options. Options will show me if I need to give any other input. See, L host is missing. So L host is basically the listener port. Like last time while creating, I gave my IP or my domain name. So it will work for me. Set L host Anurag-EC2 kali.dub.dns.org. As soon as I press enter, it will update that value. Okay. So I can have help commands also to see what all is present. I can do show payloads. It will show me all the payloads which are present, and if I want to use any one of them. So I've used one of it from Windows 64. See, so many are available. I have used the reverse TCP one here, number 536. Okay. So now let me see. When I'm showing my options, my all values are set. Now I need to exploit it. So as soon as I click on exploit, it will start the reverse TCP handler, and it will wait for user to open that file. Once user open that file, it will that payload file, it will create a connection for me. So I have copied the file here. So once I click on extract all and let's say important doc, it has extracted important doc, and as soon as I run this file, the connection should start. Yeah, so connection is started. Now I am in Meterpreter shell. As I told you, right? When I'm in Meterpreter shell, it will give me a shell kind of connection kind of thing, which where reverse TCP is established, and now I can interact with that particular machine using this shell. Okay. So now if I click on ls, it should be able to show me the files or folders which are present in current working directory. But yeah, before that, I should ensure I'm in that particular machine, right? So ipconfig, let's see. Okay, so my current IP, it shows us 10.0.2.7, but which is not my IP. It's actually the IP which belongs to the victim. Let me check that. So ipconfig 10.0.2.7. Yes, I am into that system. So now I can run many commands here. I can take a screenshot. Okay. So it is saying screenshot saved at home Kali, and with this particular name, I can upload any file, I can download any file, I can inject, I can even run this command shell and it will give me, and it's like I've created a channel. So now I'm into that C users desktop. So I can use all the Windows commands here, dir or mkdir, make a directory. I can even dump the hashes. If not, I can go to its C drive, get the SAM files and system files, use that, break those hashes, get the password, whatnot I can do. Many things can be done here. So yes, this is about the demo one. So I should probably log out from this particular channel and yeah, stop my Meterpreter and MSF Metasploit framework. Okay. So now coming to my second demo, that is exploiting the Android phone. So here, my victim system will be an Android mobile phone, which is my personal phone. Then an attacker system will be Kali Linux, that is same AWS EC2 instance. Here I'll be using Easysploit to create the payload and Metasploit framework to exploit that vulnerability. So let's go back to the console, my Kali Linux machine. I'll probably log in through my root user. Okay. So now again, same thing we need to do. We need to create the payload first, then inject it, and then exploit it. So to here, I am using Easysploit. So before that, firstly, I want to show you this particular GitHub page, which is for Easysploit. So here they have given some minute details about what it is, and it's basically a shell file which does everything for me. So I need to clone this directory. So for me, this directory is already cloned, so I'll be using it directly. CD Easysploit. Okay. So now it's nothing. I just need to execute this shell file. So see, once it is getting executed, it's asking any press any key to continue. Now it's asking what I need to do. I need to create a payload, I need to exploit, listen, many things are. So my aim was to create a payload. I'll click on one. So it is asking options for which platform I need to create a payload. And I'm interested in creating a payload for Android. Let's say I'll click on 4. It's asking me lhost IP. So my lhost IP is, I will either give my IP address, but I told you that DNS, dynamic DNS concept I'm using. I don't want to give my IP every time. If it changes, that will be a problem, right? So let's give a common name here, duckdns.org. Great. My L port is the listener port. So let's say I give 444 port. It will take some time and it will generate a APK file for me. APK is Android package file, right? So it says APK file is saved to desktop temp. So I'll quit it. Let me go to this particular file or path desktop temp, and I see, okay, the shell.apk file is created for me. Okay. So I think, let me remove this SMS dump, this fz. Okay. Okay, so now I have only shell.apk file into this folder. Again, same thing I'll do. I'll log out from this, do SCP, and bring that particular file to my machine. So my file, okay, I need to have, okay, so shell.apk file is copied to my particular folder. And this file, now I need to transfer to my Android device. Meanwhile, I'll log into my Kali machine also. So I'll show you the screenshots where I have. Yes. So yeah, if you see here, and I'm installing this file or APK file into my Android device, it's asking for the permissions and all. So yeah, user should always be careful. This gives us the understanding, and we should always be careful whenever we are installing any application. Whatever permissions it takes, we should read about it. So let's say I'm ignoring it and clicking on install. And yes, now my application is installed. If you see, it's lying somewhere on my phone. It won't do anything, won't say anything, will be lying somewhere in the corner, but it will be doing lots of things. So now my file is present in the victim's device. Let's go back to my Kali. Do the same thing. Open my Metasploit framework. That is by command msf console. It is starting my Metasploit framework now. And now, like last time I told, I'm creating a reverse TCP connection. So I need help of multi-handler package here. So I can use all these commands to show payloads and take the help from here. So now I know which payload I want to use. So I'll be simply using it for the demonstration purpose. So I need a payload for my Android device, right? So I have I'm setting up the payload as Android Meterpreter for reverse TCP. Then again, same thing. I'm setting up my L host and L port. That is very important. L host is, Anurag-EC2kali.dns.com, and L port is 4444. Okay. So as soon as I click on exploit, ideally it should listen and create a connection. So it generally takes some time, and will create the connection to my mobile phone where the application is installed. I see Meterpreter has opened a session. So now I have exploited that vulnerability. I've exploited that user's machine. So I'm into that system. How will I ensure that? My first command will be sysinfo. Okay. So yeah, it is showing me I'm into this particular Android device. Wow. So now I can do lots of things, lots of things. I can dump SMS. So it will say all the SMS, 6 SMS are present. I dump all the SMS into this particular text file. What I need, geolocate I can do. So I'll get the exact positions, the latitude and longitude, exact coordinates where that particular device is present. Webcam snap, very dangerous thing. I'm getting the snap of the webcam. Okay, so it is saved at this place. Nice. So yeah, this is how I've exploited the vulnerability. So maybe I'll quickly show you whether we got the outputs and how can we see it. Okay, so it has dumped the SMS here. So I'll do the cat SMS. Oh, lots of SMSs are there, so I can read that. Then this is the JPG file, the ones where I took the snapshot from the camera, right? So yeah, same thing. I can download some files from their machine. Lots of things I can do. So yeah, this was about the second demonstration. So now our demonstration is over, and before we end up this presentation or the video log, I want to tell few prevention measures that can be taken to protect from Metasploit attacks. So there are few generic ones and few particular ones. So I'll go through them quickly. We should not install any application from an unknown source. We should not open any file that we suspect is a malicious. Must keep our system up to date and use firewalls. Antivirus products should also be used, and they should also be up to date. We should follow best coding practices, referring exploit DBs and all. For Android security, we have some particular security tools available. That's X-Ray 360 security, etc. Tools like TCP view and all can be used to check if unnecessary TCP connections are present. If at all they are present, they should be immediately terminated. And another thing is a screenshot which I'm showing on the right hand side, which I ignored when I was installing the APK file. So nowadays our systems or the devices are smart enough. They give us, at least they try to give us the maximum information if there is any risk in installing any file or something. So see, it says this virus is a Trojan and it's a malware. So if you are getting this kind of warning, should never install that application and simply click on uninstall application. But in my case, I clicked on ignored and see how that victim got compromised. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for the patience listening.